I'm writing down questions and I'll get those to y'all. And then second, if our conversation kind of gets like near the end, or we like
Yeah. My first YouTube video.
30 seconds to video launch. Loading footage. Complete. Footage found. Embedding video. Check. Searching out.
Let's get down to business.
Yeah, you bought.
One more night to get this. We've had a million nights just like this. So let's get down,
did you know Bangs will come up here with some W's?
Oh, dude, that drives me nuts.
WWW.
A W.
Friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a million nights just like this. So let's get down to business.
Not allowed.
Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a million nights just like this. So let's get down to business. Back and forth with the bullshit. You know I said it before, I don't mean it. It's been a while since I had your attention. So it might hurt to hit it.
Hell's already in
Dreams we had don't ever fall away. We can't leave them if we stay the same. And I can't do this for another day. So let's get down to business.
Let's get down to business.
Give you one more night.
Bullet, you are modded.
We've had a million nights just like this. So let's get down to business.
Wildman and Heller in, alright. Let it run for a few more minutes, then we'll jump in it.
Yeah, I was gonna try to line up my windows here. There we go.
Replay that one more time, then. Look at that. Bullets in my baby.
Look at that sword.
It's a nice sword.
Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a million nights just like this. So let's get down to business. Mama, please don't walk
Your powers
out.
already?
I'm about to let my heart speak. Friends keep telling me to leave this.
Emote only already.
Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a million nights just like this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a million nights just like this. So let's get down to business. Back and forth.
What if I should move my microphone up like that? I hate having my microphone.
It's been a while since I had your attention. So it might hurt to hit it.
Jeff, I don't have to talk down.
Oh! Alright.
That's it, let's do it.
Let's get down. Let's get down to business.
Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a million nights just like this.
Jay Shred's in the chat already. Let's go. Getting his birthday stream in tonight, it looks like. We got to finish out the song, right? Especially if Grime's popping in. There we go. We don't want ads. We don't want ads.
No ads.
We might not have money from anyway. Just try to get them away.
No, we don't want that. Bullet, I like your mod screen today, man.
I know, I love it. Hello, everybody.
Howard Stern. Yeah, Bushy says Howard Stern on this early. No. No, that's a trash. That's a trash. We don't do that. All right, there we go. Everything should be. Let me make sure everything's good here. Okay. Yeah. All right. Perfect. We are back for episode 3 with Miss Cinnaschick. It's hard for me to pronounce that. I have to like roll it a little bit.
Cinna's fine.
Yeah, we will roll a Cinna, otherwise known as Cinna. Yeah, that's awesome. We got baked in the chat. Let's go. So tonight is your guys' opportunity to force Cinna in front of the firing squad tonight. Get some questions rolling out. We're gonna have some nice conversations, throw your questions out for her. Cinna is definitely one of, I would say, Nex's top performing streamers as well in Team Nex and other communities as well. So welcome her in today. She does awesome, posts great content, great on TikTok. Bullet, if you want to throw a shout out for any of you that aren't following her, go give her a follow before we jump into it. We're already starting at 11 viewers. All right, Cinna's getting popular already. Love it.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous because I'm an overshare.
Hey, that's all right. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So, I guess how I start off, everyone. I know you've been. I think you watched Grime. I don't know if you watched Shreds at all, but I know you were in the chat for Grime, and the way we started off was just kind of doing a little bit of background about yourself. Kind of growing up. How did you grow up? Some things you may or may not have done as a child that, looking on today and where you're at today, how that got you to where you are, whether that's adversities or jobs, et cetera, et cetera. So if you kind of want to do a little bit of a bio about yourself to kick it off, and then we'll get into some conversation.
So I grew up in central Canada. I still live here. I didn't move very far. But I grew up in a very small town. When you guys were talking about small towns last weekend, that's like a city here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna say it was for sure less than 2,000.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Might have been like 1,000 to 1,500. Like very small.
That's small.
Yeah, like my graduating class was like 60 something people.
Holy wow. I think we're at like 600.
Yeah, so yeah, very small town. Everyone knew everyone's business. I graduated on a Thursday and I moved to the city, like the closest city where I still live, on a Tuesday.
Right into it.
Yeah, right into it. The only jobs there were working at like the local grocery store or the old folks home, so I didn't want to do either of those things.
Yeah, don't blame me there.
Yeah, and I've basically lived on my own. I didn't move back home after moving out, so I've been on my own for
Holy. Since 17?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's starting off super young, just venturing out on your own.
Yeah, and moving to the city at 2.
Yeah. So, how many people are in the city that you're in now then? Or that you moved to at that time?
Let me Google.
Google's perfect.
Last time I looked, we're at 705,000.
Oh wow! So that's a huge huge difference compared to growing up in a town of 1,500.
Yeah.
Wow, that's kind of a culture shock there. That would be a culture shock for me. It's hard for me to get out of my element when I get into a big crowd of people like that. So,
Well, we had family that lived in the city, so like
yeah.
came to like the city on weekends and whatever. So I mean, it
Mhm.
wasn't like huge, but yeah, going from
Gotcha.
living, yeah,
Gotcha. That's not bad. So, being up in Canada, one, it's colder than fuck, as
yes.
we've been sharing back and forth, and everybody is hating the winter life right now in the colder areas. How do you like living up there? I've always been curious. It's our northern brethren from the states, brethren and sister, and so to speak, and I've just always been curious of how it is to live up there compared to the states. Like, is there that much? I know like the healthcare and stuff's kind of a little bit different, but do you enjoy it or?
Yes, I do really like living up here. I feel like I'm in like one of like the worst provinces, but it's also the cheapest province to live in.
Okay.
But I say worst as in like there's not a lot to see here. Like you have BC with all like the beautiful
Mhm.
mountains and stuff, and same with like Alberta. Um, Me and Saskatchewan were we're just prairies. um, but yeah, no, I really like living in Canada. Um, Politic wise, I honestly don't really pay attention because I don't like anybody.
I
Yep. Yep.
agree with that. Agree with
um,
that.
yeah, and as for healthcare, I mean, yeah, it's free, but like you can tell it's free.
Yeah, not always the best care. You have to wait a long time. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel that. That was I know that was like a big thing listening to my dad growing up because my dad's, I mean, we're a pretty conservative family, and he would always rant about that. Like if we went to universal health care, and that's what I thought that Canada kind of kind of went for. I don't know if it was always like that or if that was like a recent thing.
I think it's been like that for a very long
As it.
time. Mm.
So yeah, I've always wanted to go visit Canada. I've never been up there. I know like my dad. Where did he always go? He always went up to was it Saskatchewan?
Hmm.
I believe he always went up there. I don't know what he had up there, but something to do for something to do for the business. We worked for a factory for a while, and I worked under my dad for a while, and he took a few trips up there, and he always asked me if I wanted to go. I'm like, no. And now that I'm older, I'm like, I should have done it. It would have been a cool experience. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I mean, I've only been to the States twice. Once was to Grand Forks when I was like 16, so it was like basically a drinking trip.
yes,
And the second time I was like just in Chicago airport. So I mean, I can't really compare
right.
to like what it's like in the States. But I like living here. People are friendly.
That's nice. They're not like that in Chicago, that's for sure. I cannot stand that place. Every time I go there, it's like cringe for me. But yeah, that's awesome. I was always curious, how Canada, was compared to, some of the upper states. Like Jolly, I think he's from Minnesota. I'm from Iowa, and I can tell you what, it's a lot fucking colder up there. That's for sure.
Yes.
But
Yes, where I live.
living wise, I was always curious to see, if people liked it or if it was just something that, they were like, oh, well, I wouldn't mind moving to the States, but like, I don't mind Canada or, vice versa. Like, oh, yeah, I love it here compared to anywhere else I've ever lived. So that's pretty cool. Yeah,
Hell is right. Our roads are absolutely awful here.
yeah, yeah, there's some rough patches here too, but
Oh
I
yeah, for sure, for sure.
got some rough ones. So, all right, guys, gonna reiterate, throw out some questions for Miss Cinna tonight. You can throw out in general questions for Cinna alone. Both of us together, even if you got questions for Bullet, throw them out in the chat and we'll kind of cover them. We've had some really good questions rolling the past couple of episodes and some good conversations started to them. So let them rip and let's hear what you got tonight. So we'll kind of keep on with the conversation. So you said that the only thing to really do in your province is healthcare, right? Or grocery. Is that
Oh, like in the small town that I
in
grew
a
up
small
in.
town? Okay. So
Yeah, so I like when I graduated, I had a job lined up to work in a law firm where my aunt was working.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mhm.
So is that what you do now yet then or
No, so I've been at my job for next month will be 12 years.
Oh wow.
I
Wow.
yeah. 3 more years and I get my 5th week of vacation.
Nice.
Score.
No, so I started at the law firm fresh out of high school, and I had a really bad attitude, so I may have gotten let go like almost 2 years into it, I think.
Oh, really?
But like I was making minimum wage and I was doing everybody's job, and I was sour that I was
Mhm.
making less than what they were making and doing more than what they were doing. So, and I mean, I would guess I was pretty vocal about it, but I mean, I was 17/18, so
Yeah. Yep. I yeah, I some of the same jabs that I had, starting out bullet. I don't know if you had the same experiences, but it always seems like that seems to be the way it goes. You walk into a job and that turns into, oh, you're supposed to be training for a position, but in reality, you're just doing everybody else's work for them. And then okay, I've had a few jobs where it wasn't like that at all, but definitely my first couple were they were rough. It was same thing, you're making 10, 12 bucks an hour and it's just like yeah, the boss man's over there sleeping at his desk while you're doing everything for him, so it's kind of like
Yeah. My first job that I had, I worked at a Dick's Sporting Goods.
okay.
So it was very, very like big boxy, very retail-y type place. I mean, like as busy as you can get when it comes to retail type place. I mean, it's very known all over the place. So like our management, there was like three different managers there. So like it was always having to please a manager a different way at a certain time. So you'll be there with like the morning manager, and he wants it done one way. And
Yep.
then you get your midday, okay, he wants it done a different way. And then you get your nighttime, they want it done a different way. So it was always like just like, and I think that I mean like it taught. I think the first job teaches you a lot of how to be an adult, I guess you can say.
Mhm.
And I'm glad that that happened to me. Like I'm glad that I got to learn. You're not gonna like everybody you work with. You're
Yep.
not gonna like what you do every time,
Mhm.
but it pays off in the end. There, it's like it's worth going through the bullshit you have to go through for how many years or how many
Mhm.
months to eventually figure out. Guess what? The world doesn't revolve around me,
Yep.
and that's what kind of like I got told. Like, I was like, no matter what I do, sometimes it's never going to be enough, and that's okay. But
Mhm.
also, it taught me I can't please everybody, but it also taught me I'm not going to like everybody that I work with as well. Which I think a lot of younger people nowadays, it's kind of harder for them to accept that fact. And I
Yes.
mean, I'm young. I'm only 23 years old. So I'm not going to say I'm like in the older generations, no. But I think I grew up a lot quicker than a lot of people
Mhm.
my age or younger than me. That the fact that I could realize that very quickly.
Yeah. I,
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that. That's
But yeah. But like
spot
so,
on.
whenever you said you moved out you said you moved out and you moved out at 17, right?
Yes.
What was like the reasoning behind that? Was it just kind of like I want to be independent, or was it like you just didn't like the city you were in? Like that, I would just kind of reiterate on like the reason of you moving out at like such an early age.
I knew for like the last like as I was coming up to graduating, I knew that I didn't want to live at home. I knew that I wanted to move to the city. I've always just kind of been independent, and like my parents would offer to like, buy stuff for me, and I was like, "No, like I'm going to do this on my own."
Mm.
Yeah, yeah,
I respect
And
that.
yeah, and I mean my brother's the complete opposite, but
yeah. That's the way it goes, and I kind of noticed that like it's either like in my family, like the way that I was grown up. Um, hey guys, can we get Cinna and Bullet's mic volume turned up?
Got it.
They're quite a bit. Let me know when you're ready for us to talk.
Try it now.
All right, can y'all hear us?
hello, test.
Is that better? But anyway, we'll keep going. So like the way I grew up, I will honestly say I grew up very well. My parents did very well for themselves. I never struggled. I never went through like that dip of life where, I really didn't know what we're gonna eat tonight or where we're gonna move to. Like I never had that problem. My dad did very well. My mom did very well for herself. So I always got to the point like to where I wanted that for myself. I wanted to be able to do that stuff for me.
Mhm.
And so I moved out at a very early age. I moved out at, I think I was like 18 years old. You know, I went to college, you know, I got my own place in college, whatever, all that type of stuff. But then, you know, even after college, I moved back with my parents for like 2 months, 2, 3 months. And I was like, yeah, I can't do this. You know, like
No.
I'm not, but at the same time, my sister was still living there, you know, and now she moved on to get her own thing. But like, there was still time for like us to like, I think that's very, two very like different personalities that collide in this world is the ones that want to be independent and move on, and the
Mhm.
ones that are sit there and wait until they have to. And I
Yeah.
think that that's the big change in someone who's successful early. And I mean, I'm not saying that other people aren't successful, but they might just find their success way later than a lot of us do.
Yeah.
Mhm. Or willing to put in the work to get there.
Exactly, exactly.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I mean that's what I was kind of wondering because I was like, dang, I moved out at like 18. It's like we're that's like pretty similar, you know.
Mhm.
But that's pretty cool because I mean I thought I was like because I mean I grew up like I said very early compared to a lot of my people.
Yeah.
So I
I
mean I
feel like I
just
did too because I moved out early.
yeah. So I was
Mm.
just like at the point when like I mean I was married and had kids by the time I was 20 years old.
Oh,
You
That's
know,
really?
crazy.
yeah. So I mean I have a 2 year old and 1 year old and I'm 23. You know, like that's just I mean and that's just kind of crazy because like a lot of my people are just now getting engaged, getting married. So I mean it's just all the route that you want to take and the way you want to do it. It's I mean it's all up to someone's drive at the end
Yeah.
of it.
Well, I'm 33 and I have my 2 cats, so.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And like, everybody else can be like at a different stage of life. And that's something that like a lot of people can't like accept because like we had a lot of people that we were friends with that kind of wanted to have that family life already and they couldn't accept the fact that people are at different stages of life.
Yeah.
Your
Well, yeah, I
stage
mean,
Yeah.
early
might not like
people
your
just want
stage might
parties.
not step up at my stage like and that's okay and like a lot of people can't really understand that when they want something in that moment or in that time but that took a lot of learning for us too to not get mad at that person because of how they thought about us you know
Yeah.
because we're like yo I mean like it's not my fault that like we you know we were moving to go upward and you're kind of staying back I mean it is what it is I mean like I said stages of life never adds up so
Mhm. I mean, but real friends will be with you through all stages.
exactly, exactly. I mean, I still have like a good group, and I love them to death. But like, still, it's like we lost a lot of people during that big change because of
Mhm.
where we were at in life. But like I said, if you weren't with me now, you weren't with me from the beginning. So go ahead, be fine. Like I'm okay. I'm doing good.
Yeah, I see. I agree with the my whole thing on the friends is because I've dealt with, I've said this on the last two as well. I've dealt with a lot of friends who were friends my whole life, right? And now it's turned into that's not the case anymore. They whatever they're doing their own thing, but for whatever reason they look at me like I'm public enemy number one.
Hmm.
Why I don't know, and I don't really care. I've always looked at it as like a momentum thing, right? So past, present, future doesn't matter to me. I try to live in the moment, right? And if the momentum is going this way, that's where I'm going. If you're with me, you're with me. If you fell off the
Mhm.
train 5 miles back, then I ain't got time to go pick you up. Like,
Exactly, exactly.
it's kind of one of them things. So
Yeah. All right. So Wildman's asking, we can kind of like switch to a
there we
different
go.
subject on here, get a little bit more to like kind of streaming and
Yep.
what all we do, because I mean that's one part of this. Um, okay. So this is what we're gonna do. Um, so Wildman wants to know, most of us have full time jobs and stream part time. Streaming content creation is way more fun. Curious to hear about any time management strategies that y'all use. So I guess Cinna, you
Oh,
go first, Deuce, and then me.
perfect.
So right now I have the benefit of working from home. So on my breaks, if I streamed the night before, my morning break, I will look at my Athena highlights and will like pick out which ones I like or and like save it or whatever. And then usually on lunch, I will if I haven't posted my TikTok for that day, then I'll finish it on my lunch. But I'll still like work on like other clips. I try to like have a whole bunch of stuff ready just because I don't feel like doing it every day. Um, and then yeah, just streaming on my regular nights. So I like finish work, work out most days, eat, and then game or stream. I'm lucky enough, I mean lucky that I don't have kids or
Right.
like I'm just by myself, so I only have myself to worry about. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Boosie. What about you?
I would say my time management is fucking. It's sometimes it's all over the place, but I think the biggest thing for me is being organized, and that started with going to the military at a young age. I always thought the world owed me something, and then it turned me around. I was just organized, and boom. So my business is kind of the hours of operation are early mornings and late nights. So usually what I do is I'll get up, I'll work a job while I get my employees squared away. I'll get them squared away, get them sent out, and then I'll work a job. I'll come home. I'll stream for I try to shoot for 2.5 3 hours because I have that time set aside. So after I get done with that first job, I'll come home, stream for 2 3 hours, and I try to do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Monday and Fridays, I try to just set aside because it's otherwise I just get burned out. And after I get done streaming, I usually go work out for about an hour and a half. And by that time in the day, it's usually 12:30, 1 o'clock by the time I'm done with everything, 12:31 p.m. And I have about 3.5 hours until I got to go work again for the long portion of the night, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. So usually I go work from like 4 to 9 and 4 to 8 sometimes. And then after that, it's pretty much when I come back, it's, chill with the wife, the dogs, and that ends the night. And it's just kind of lather, rinse, repeat. So the time management is it's very skewed for me. On Mondays and Fridays, I'll try to edit a few clips, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday stream. It's it's so hard. It's so hard. I'll 100% say that it's so hard to keep a set schedule because the one day you got a whole day free and you didn't know you were gonna have free, and you're like, I'm gonna take this advantage to stream and try to build your community and then get these clips rolling for TikTok and yada yada yada. But I think the biggest thing is just try to get yourself on a set schedule, because I used to stream at nights too, and when people would see me on in the mornings and then on at nights, my night streams would do worse because they're like, "Oh, I thought you streamed in the mornings." So I think having that set time frame, like, not to keep rambling on about it, but me getting on from like 8:30 to 11:30 every day streaming, people are like, "Oh, I know Deuce is going to go live at this time." And then yeah, you'll have a random stream here or there, but I think that's huge to when you can get a schedule, especially with bigger people that are watching you, or
Yeah, having a set schedule.
yeah, you keep popping up. If they tuned into you once, they're either moving on or they're like, "Hey, I'm going to raid this guy someday or girl someday." So I think having that schedule is very important. I will say times everybody's like, I gotta hammer a long stream. I gotta have a 6 7 hour stream, and just shoot for 2 to 3 hours and have fun with it. That's my biggest thing. Manage that time and have fun with it, because it's not end all be all. I remember when I first started, I was like, I gotta go 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 go, and then like 3 months later, I'm like, screw this. I didn't even want to do it anymore. But now that I've managed that back, it's fun again, because you got a limited amount of time, a set amount of time, and you're either grinding or you're having a blast with whoever you're playing with, because you have that set amount of time. And
Yeah.
so that's kind of my little 2 cents on it, I guess.
Yeah. So like my thing on it is my goal at the end of it is just to make the best content I can.
Mm-hmm.
Once you make the best content, the numbers and everything will get there. But like the time management wise behind that is my goal. It's a big goal. All of us have big goals. We all want to be partner. We all want to do this full time. We have to realize there's going to be some nights when we're staying up late and having to stay up late. And if that's not what you want to do, you just want to stream and have fun, then stream and have fun. Stream when you can. Don't worry about a schedule. And if you're just enjoying talking with people that you meet, cool. But it's just like you, and it was something I had to really explain to like my friends and stuff that when I was first starting out. You know, we go in, we buy a PC, we buy a camera, we buy microphones, we buy lights, we buy all this stuff, invest our money into it. At that point, this is a business. You have
Mhm.
to treat it as if this is your
Yep.
business at that point. So I find time in my schedule. Again, I get the credit of working from home, and a lot of times, you know, it's pretty laid back, and then there's really nothing really happening in my day until the later part of the day. So usually about 1 to 7 is usually when I'm busiest. There'll be a few things in the morning, but most of all, you know, my schedule's pretty free. Um, but but whenever I was very busy, you know, I knew at that point I'm going to stream from 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. I set that time aside every single day, and even with the family, it was hard to do that. You know, to be able to, you know, how do I balance my time with my kids, my
Yep.
family, and not get so invested in this that I forget, you know,
Mm-hmm.
what happened before. Because I mean, yes, we all want to be 100% successful in this, and I hope for every single one of us that's going to happen. But we
Mhm.
also have to be realistic in the same way that it's okay to spend some time with family right now, or it's okay to spend some
Yep.
you time right now. So I set a schedule. I'm going to stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday. At that point, that's what I did. But now I do Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 12. Um, and you have to have kind of a set schedule, just like Deuce is saying. They kind of know when you go live. You know,
Mhm.
people will start saying, like, even if you get one of those random people who pop in, they know, oh, okay, this guy was live 8 a.m. Monday. He was live 8 a.m. Tuesday. So it's kind of catching on that this guy's here at 8 a.m. You know, and that's always important to me. Just kind of like what Hell was saying in here. Do use your Twitch schedules and stick to them for streaming. I try my hardest to. There
Mm-hmm.
are days where we're all human and I don't feel like doing it. The other day, I got way too drunk on a Monday and I was hungover on Tuesday, and I was not on here on that next day. Um, but most of the time, I really do try to stay to my schedule, just because that's the way you build your brand and content.
Yep.
Mhm.
Time management wise, we have the time. It's just how much time are you willing to put into it?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's one thing I've noticed with Twitch and with streaming. You can do as much as you want, man. You're gonna be tired of shit. Because when I was grinding affiliate, you know, with kids, you wake up early, waking up at 5 a.m., work most of the day, get home, work from 6 or stream from 6:30 to 11, wake up again at 6, and it was just a constant cycle of just doing that over and over and over.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just gotta kind of find, like, you know, what to do, and that's what got me to affiliate and got me to a point where I can comfortably stream and still build my community, my base. That, like, I knew I had the time. It's just you got to put that time forward and be like, all right, no matter what, I'm doing it this time. This day I'm doing this day, and you just got to base it out, write it out, do whatever
Mhm.
you can to really fill that time of staying, in content creation and streaming. I mean, that's it. You just
Yep.
got to put that work in, baby. And it's just that's it.
You don't have to stream every day. Like if you only have like X amount of time, like stream 2 to 3 times a week, and then on the other days use that for like making your content for
Yep.
like TikTok and whatever. Like you don't have to stream every day.
Yeah,
Nope.
I saw this video one time when it was when I very first started, and it was just kind of like, how do I grow my channel? And the main theme was like, streaming is not what grows your channel. I was like,
No.
what
Nope.
are you talking
Everything
about?
else.
Yeah, it's like you should have more activity outside of streaming than you do in streaming. And I was like,
Mhm.
that's just insane to think about. But like, we should really be focusing on TikTok, social media, Twitter, Facebook,
Networking.
YouTube, and
Yep.
networking. I mean, that's what you
Yeah.
should be doing. Instead of worrying about, okay, I got to stream for 4 hours today. Okay, I got to stream for this many hours. I got to do a 12-hour stream, to try to get my affiliate. That's not how it's going to work, you know. And I wish I would have been told that before, because I mean, it took me 3, 4, 5 months to get to affiliate. But I
Hmm.
wish I would have noticed streaming's not doing anything for me. It's me taking the time outside of that streaming time to get me
Yep.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I think I
streams
got
on
mine in like 6 weeks.
Yeah,
6 weeks.
like
That's pretty
I really
quick.
wish I would have took that, because I know Jackrad, she got affiliate in 4 days,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But she
which
did
is
all the networking beforehand.
exactly,
Yep.
which was just insane. But I mean,
Yeah.
like, still, it's very possible to do. So if anybody's new here and you're trying to get an affiliate, listen up to some of these people. They know what they're talking about.
Yeah, it's definitely use your stream to get that content and push. And I will say right now, if you're not using Twitter, you're wrong. I was a Twitter hater. Like I hate social media in general. I hate it. Like I don't like looking at it. I don't like scrolling at it. I think it's such a waste of human potential to be sucked into social media.
It's such
But
a time sucker.
it is. But when we're putting out our content like this, I will say that I think Twitter is the best, and for a few reasons. Obviously, TikTok's great, but not a lot of traffic from TikTok will come to your Twitch. You got guys on TikTok with 100K followers, but then you go to their Twitch and they have like 3K followers, but they have like 5 people watching, 6, 7, 8, 9 people watching. Which is, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that like I'm better than you or we're better than you type deal. It's just the numbers are skewed compared to a lot of us are 100 to 3, 400 followers on Twitch, and we're averaging 10 or more, which is based off of our connections. And not to get sidetracked, Twitter, the amount of stuff that I've posted, or if you like somebody's tweet, get on Twitter, start posting your content, and follow the bigger creators. Like me and Shreds have been talking about this for a while now. We got like Stevie T usually likes almost everything that I put out. A few other guys. Nerves has liked some of my stuff, and Shred stuff. If one of them guys gets a hold of your content and wants to push it, that's where you need to be. That's what's gonna happen, is making those bigger connections and having that involvement. Like if Nerve saw a video I posted, or Stevie T, and retweets it, you're gonna get a lot of traffic. And I think Twitter's just more user friendly. You can post your Twitch. It's easy to hit the link and go. That's just my little slice that I would
I
add
need
to
to
it.
use it more. I'm really not a Twitter person.
I'm
Yeah, I
I'm
mean
not either, but
that's where like that was my main social media whenever I first started, because it's so easy to press follow on somebody. It doesn't take long. It's not content you have to watch. There's nothing looking forward. Someone reads it, clicks it, done. And there's a lot of people on there who are promoting. Like the other day, I was trying to get a push for 200 followers. I was like 170, 180, and within 10 minutes, I was at 200. I mean, I got that followers that quick. I was just like, wow, okay, like maybe I should do this more often.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would say Twitter, the algorithm on Twitter is very nice.
Yes.
All of us small streamers that are in here, we all started with algorithm with Twitch. I mean, we're just being honest. It is what it is. So there's other ways to get your name out there besides just being on Twitch.
Yep.
If you single yourself to Twitch only, I'm sorry, but it's gonna be very hard for you to get successful at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Utilize literally everything you can think of. Hover, TikTok, Twitter,
Yep,
Facebook,
anything.
like literally everything.
Yeah, just
I
sit down for 5 minutes, and when you have a video, just post it on everything. Don't post something on TikTok and then, oh, I'll post this tomorrow. No, just post everything at once and be done with it. And
Mm,
just a little add on to the Twitter thing. If you're on TikTok, your For You page should not be all gaming. Just go through, like, I like a lot of just everyday stuff, whether it's dogs, people doing dumb stuff, cool skateboard, snowboard videos, car videos, whatever. Find the trends. Find the trends that people are doing for any video of any style, car, snowboard, football, whatever, and recreate it into gaming. That's how I know, like, the big one that I had nothing to do with gaming, but I was like, oh, this guy did pretty good with it. I'm just going to recreate it and put it into gaming. So look for those trends and just recreate them. I know Jim Halpert, super good at that. Super good at that.
Yeah, TikTok game on point with him.
yeah, it's the gaming clips are great. Don't get me wrong. Like, there's nothing more I love than posting some of my clips on there that I think are gonna do awesome, and they don't. But then I'll post a trend video that has nothing to do with my content, and people are like, this is funny. Follow, follow, follow,
Yep,
follow.
and that was the thing about we talked about a lot with Grime was they're not really here for the gameplay most of the time. I'm sorry, they can go watch Call of Duty anytime they want. They can go play Call of
Yeah,
Duty most of the time
Yep.
anytime they want. They're here for you.
the
So
person.
like if you're posting content and they see, oh my god, this guy's so funny, they're gonna want to see you all the time.
Mhm.
Like it's free content for them at that point. It's free entertainment.
Yeah.
You know, and that's my thing. You put out the best content possible, you're gonna get the subs. You're gonna get the partnership.
Yep.
So like that's my thing. Like I'm like on my stream, I've never really said anything about people subscribing because that's not gonna get me to the next level. That's not gonna get me to partner. It's not say it doesn't say on partnership get to 50 subs, get to 100 subs.
Yeah.
It says
Right.
viewers.
Viewers,
So you
yeah.
know you get the viewers. Guess what? You're gonna get the subs.
Yep.
It's all just a domino effect. So like make sure at the very beginning you put in the time for TikTok, you put in the time for YouTube, put in time for this, because it'll eventually grow.
Yep.
All right, so Bushy has a question for you. Bearded fella on the top left, how does one get a beard that beautiful, and what products do you recommend someone just starting out to use?
Well, for
That's
one,
for me, right?
yeah, that's,
Yeah.
that's for Cinna. Well, for one, Bush, you got to be a man and actually able to
There we
grow
go.
a beard.
There we go.
Cinna almost spit out her drink. All seriousness, dude, I'm not kidding when I say I had a beard when I was 12 years old. It was starting to grow in, and yeah,
Is that Viking in you?
yeah, it's that Viking in me. It's one of them things to where it just grew in nice, and I was like, I got a beard. I got a good beard. I'm gonna grow a beard. Then I used, I'm not gonna lie. I'm definitely a get down, get dirty kind of guy, like nitty gritty. I'll do any type of work, and I don't care how dirty I get. But when it comes to after the work, I'm a pretty boy. So I got like I got like 3 different beard oils that I use. I use like Viking Revolution's the big thing I use. I use a comb. I have an actual beard straightener, like a mini straightener for a beard, and
Golly.
You know what though? Ladies appreciate that because like when a guy just has like a scraggly beard, like I mean maybe it's different. Ladies like different things, but like I don't know, a groomed beard is a nice beard.
Exactly. I am not going in with looks like I got in a fight with like a bear that like just took a bath.
Electrical.
Yeah, working on there you go, you know. No, you gotta be a little bit of a pretty boy
There
too.
we go. All right, so Hell asked, Cinna's an amazing networker. She always is on other people's channels and active. Can you tell us more about what you try to aim for when you're supporting others?
Well, like when when I'm choosing who I'm supporting, I will say so like the very first person that I rated was Julaz, and a lot of her community is now part of my community. I would say probably half of my viewers and like community are from her. I just completely lucked out, and I like rated her with 3 people, and she rated me the following week with like 30 viewers, and it's just kind of gone on from there. So hers was just like completely random. She was just on my recommendations. Um, but like I mean, outside of Next and 99, I usually try to find somebody that I just vibe with, like that I like Bad Bear. Like I think he's just absolutely hilarious. I'm having such a good time when I'm watching his streams. Again, I work from home. I have the benefit that I literally sit here with my old phone on my Wi-Fi and watch Twitch all day. So yeah, I mean, it comes down to people that I vibe with, who I think their viewers might vibe with me too.
Yep.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes
Yep.
sense.
hmm
What about you, Deuce?
I would say when I go to support others, I try to support everybody, especially being an owner in Next. But there's times where you gotta let people do their own thing, man. They're either gonna step up or they're not sometimes, and unfortunately, there's just nothing you can do about it. So, what I like to do is if there's a new member in Next or somebody who's been in there for a long time, I'll pop through everybody's stream. I'll run through everybody's stream. And the first thing I look for is overlays. How does your stream look? How nice is it? If you can get me to stick around for more than 10 seconds, that's a win. Because if I go into your stream and your face cam is all jacked up and like your mic's like sitting like this in front of your forehead and like it is what it is. Some people only got so much they can work with and are on a budget. I get it. But the aesthetics are what get me first. And if you can show me that you can put on a good show from the start, I'm gonna stick around. Next is the vibes. Are you the guy that doesn't engage with chat or the girl that doesn't engage with chat? I don't want to be there. Like I want to vibe with you while you play your game. Like that
Yeah.
I want to have fun. And that's a big thing like where I think all of us actually, but like I'll just use Grime for an example cuz I play with him a lot. We like if you jumped into a lobby with Grime or me when we're together, you would think we're gay together, I would say. Like
I wondered.
it's just like I know I don't mean to like say that like offensively or anything, but it's just that's the kind of vibe we have and the fun that we have. We like to just take that. Graham says we're not in chat. Maybe.
That's a tough way to find out. I'm sorry, buddy.
But it's just fun, man. Like we will whenever I play with Graham, I will say we are just having fun, goofing around and laughing, acting sus as hell. But we'll go off because we're having fun and we're vibing.
Exactly.
So if I can hop in your chat and you can hold that same vibe, like when I hop in Grimes chat, Big Bang's chat, Cinna, you do a good job at it. Bullet, you do a great job at it too. And it's fun. You guys got your bits and your sound alert set up. It's fun. I like seeing people be interactive. If you're not interactive with me, I'm not staying. I hate to say it. I don't care if you have a 6.0 KD and you've won $100,000 tournaments for Warzone. It's not my thing, man. I like guys that can have fun, like Repulse. I don't know if any of you two watch Repulse at all, but he's fun as hell, man, and just has a good time with it. So that's where I start. You gotta have fun. You gotta get out of your comfort zone and just not care what people think. Like you'll see me sometimes. I'll get tilted playing Warzone, and I gotta pull myself back because I'm like I know I'm good, but I know I'm not like a pro or anything. But it's like you gotta pull yourself back, and you're like, yeah, I gotta have fun, engage with chat, and just have fun. Because you can get a lot of good clips from chat too. You can get a lot of good clips from that.
But whenever I'm trying to support someone, I really just most of the time I try to support people who are on the way to affiliate because I remember being there, trying to get there. I'm just like, I know you get your stream summary at the end. It's like, fuck, I'm at 1.9. Damn it, 2.0, 2.1, 2 point, and then you go back to 1.8. I try to support as many people as I can that are on the way to affiliate, just because I've been there before and I remember that grind of having to get there.
Yep.
And then like when it comes to like at the same time when I'm like rating people and supporting them that way, I want to take my viewers to someone that is just like me. I'm not going to take someone to a channel who is just sitting there like this the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm just not. That's what comes with it. When it comes to streaming, you have three things that get you popping: skills, looks, personality. You have to have one of those things to be somewhat, in a way, successful. Some people are really bad at games, but they're good looking, guy and girl. Second thing, they have a great personality, which is most of the time the winner.
Yep.
But then you have people like Aiden and all those other just godlike players who have the skill that it's just like, how did they just do that? Like you have those type of people.
Yep.
And like me myself, I do not pride myself on being good at games. I know I am not, and I'm not really trying to talk shit, but if we're looking at like Tim the Tapman's crew, he is not the best compared to everybody else.
Right.
He's the funny one, and like that's why I kind of want to be
He's
in
the one
like,
I
in the,
watch.
exactly.
Yeah.
He's like the one you want to be with. I mean, like, yes, I love watching it merch. Yes, I love watching Dr. Disrespect. Dr. Disrespect puts on a great show. He's such an entertainer. Tim the Tapman is just hilarious because of how different that whole squad is. And I mean, and that's what you want to see. If we go back to old YouTube or just old gaming videos like Van All's crew, let's just go back that far.
Oh wow. Going back.
The only reason you watched them was not because they were sitting there sweating their ass off. It's because it was like watching a group of friends play just like we do.
Yep.
and that's what kind of vibe, like just kind of like what Deuce was saying when him and Grime are playing. I mean, it's like whenever I join them, it's like just playing with the boys. It's not for streaming. Let's be serious and only get only sweat our ass off and hit clips all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's what Friday nights are for me. Like with me, Phenomenal, Hell, and Nerd Shark, like we're honestly just messing around the
exactly,
entire time.
exactly, and that's what it should be. It should never be. It should never be like a streaming should never be. Like I said, it is a business, and at that point, it shouldn't be so much where you take it so seriously. You stop forgetting the reason you wanted to do it, because
Mhm.
that's what a lot of people do. They get in there and they want to be so serious. Make sure they hit clips. Make sure their gameplay is good. Make sure this is good. But
Mhm.
still, at the end of the day, have fun with what you're doing. Have fun.
I
Well, and also keep in mind, it's a very saturated market.
Yes.
Literally everybody is streaming. It's gonna take time and just a chance of luck to get noticed. And
Exactly.
Yep.
I saw this thing. It was like we're the Twitch. Think of Twitch as a city. There is 1,000,001 burger shops in this city. You got to be the taco shop amongst the burger shops. I mean, that's how. I mean, that's how it is.
Mm-hmm.
You can't copy somebody. You can't be the same as somebody. You got to figure out why you're different. And I'm not saying that's easy, you know. And it counts for branching out, doing new things, posting funny clips, just showing your personality the most. Not like I said, not a lot of people don't like a robot unless you're just a god at the game and your skill takes over. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's just you just gotta do what you gotta do to deal what you want. But
Yeah.
let's see here.
I gotta hit on one thing before you go to the next one. I gotta give a tip of the cap to Wildman. So we were all playing Red M the other night, which I don't know if anybody's been watching us play that, but we've been having a blast. And you gotta watch what you do sometimes because they do take it serious. But we got into like this heated conversation with the sheriff deputy of this town who just came in and thought he ran shit. The dude that we've been running around that's been playing with for a long time was like, no, we run shit. And they were having like this conversation. We were in Discord, whatever. And we figured it out. I don't know how we figured it out, but we figured out that you could put a command in the text chat to where you could piss. Like as a dude, like you could unzip your shit and piss like on the ground. And Wildman just walks over to the sheriff like mid heated conversation and starts pissing on his leg. And it was like I was crying so fucking hard. And I was ready for a band to come, but it's just like shit like that to where you can have fun with your friends in a game and your community and just vibe out with whoever you're playing with, not necessarily take it serious all the time, be good at a game, but just have fun with it. Like that I was laughing so hard like I couldn't catch my breath. I was crying. It was so funny cuz I had a feeling it was coming and it did. And it was perfect. So tip to Wildman on that.
Yep. So Wildman asked, for the community members of Nets like myself, for you have come to absolutely love the community. What is the vision for Nets moving forward, and how can we as community members help the brand achieve that goal? So I'm guessing this is mostly for Deuce since he's the owner.
more heli tosses.
Yeah, he's the
More
owner.
heli tosses for the brand. Here, let me rephrase that a little bit before I throw my 2 cents in on that. So I'll throw that to Cinna first and then you bullet. So we had the vision, being the owners of Next, to get this to a place where we are now and then some, but in a different way than a lot of other communities do it. Yeah, we started off, we wanted to be competitive at first. My whole main focus was not really the competitive side. I would like to be competitive, but my whole focus is how it is now. Build a family, and an actual family that actually likes to enjoy and support playing with each other. Anytime you get on and want to stream, you can find one of these people and jump in right with them and play and have fun. And it's at all times of the day. And that's kind of where we've been getting to. So it's been great. So what my question is to you guys, what is your opinion or little tidbits of advice on moving Next forward, not from my standpoint as being one of the owners, but as a member, which I think both of you are top tier members. And next, you guys are active. You guys, you guys play with everybody, whether it's the next community, other communities, whoever, and just have fun, good streams. So I'll go ask you guys, what's your advice, and where do you want to see next moving forward?
Then you go
Yeah.
ahead.
I mean, ultimately, it would be pretty cool to like get sponsorships.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all want this to be a big thing, right?
Yep.
And we all want to see it succeed. I mean, for all of us as a community. Um, how to get there? I mean, I think we're all grinding, we're all working on it. And as you guys said it was last week, like just one of us needs to make it.
Yeah. Yep. Stacking our cards, stack our cards in the favor right now. That's hopefully what we can, keep doing. Just keep stacking them cards, and
Yeah.
one person or a couple of us make it. So
Pushing content and just trying to get noticed.
Yep. Like my thing about the whole pushing forward, in ways that we can all kind of, you know, continue that tradition. I mean, as Deuce said, before, we all got to bring a plate to the table to eat. We all have to be able to offer something. When it comes to a group, we also have to realize that this name, Nets. When I'm wearing like a Nets sweatshirt, or we have Nets people, in my team, whatever action that we take, that's what's going to represent us.
Hmm.
yep.
Anything, anything that happens when you're wearing this, representing it, is going to follow that name forever. So let's make it, let's go towards definitely like a positive. I'm not saying anything's happened. I'm just saying in general, like we got to remember that's the way we achieve this goal
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
is putting out content, just great content with next behind it, putting out, and I'm not saying just sweaty content or even like when our people are in Z League doing tournaments, go out there and do your best work with that next behind your name. And that's how you're going to push the group forward.
Yep.
Working with other communities, showing, hey, look, we're here to help everybody. That's an amazing way. They say, look, the people on Next, they're all great people. This is what they do for us. We shouldn't really be a competing group, as in a form of helping others. We should be the ones that like help a lending hand to everyone, because
Yep.
I think that gives you a good insight to what our goal is. It's not for us to shit on people; it's for us to lift each other up and keep going forward. I mean, in tournaments, yes, shit on them boys, shit on them girls, do your thing. But when it comes to growing the community and helping everybody else,
Yeah.
that's where we need to be. We need to be the people that help a lending hand. Like I have no problem, even someone who's not in 99 or someone who's not in Nets, to raid them and support them. When I have a net sweatshirt on and I'm going from this to that, that's my thing. Like even other communities, I'm not against going to show them love, because I want to show them, hey, whatever I'm representing, we love you and we're going to support you either way. So if all of our people in Nets or any other community can aim toward that goal, that's where your goal should be, is helping others, doing the right thing, and just again at the same time putting out great content with Nets behind the name, whatever other community you're representing, put that behind it, push it out there, so that they see all the Nets boys are about it. All the Nets boys are funny and hilarious. You know, make
Mhm.
us be known that when they hop in the lobby and they see the NEX or whatever community you're repping, oh, they scared, baby, they scared. But
Mhm.
that's I mean that's where like I would probably see like the best way to move forward is make our I guess our ethics in the right direction in every
Yep.
way possible.
Yep.
Kind of an
What do you think?
asterisk about um like representing. Also think about who you play with even like outside of Next, because
Mm-hmm.
I have actually left streams because of the people that they were playing with,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
whether they were just being toxic
Mm-hmm.
or just gross. Like
Yeah.
I just be mindful who you're playing with on stream. If you want to play with people, in your own time, you go do that, but just be mindful who you're playing with sometimes.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, that made sense. I mean, that's what I'm kind of saying. Like at the same time, when you're repping those letters of whoever you're with, that follows that group.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like you're never gonna see me wearing necks and then going out there being just toxic and gross. You're never gonna say that. But I mean, like it's just like you got to realize what you're doing behind that name. You got to show what you're showing and what you're doing. and just
Mm.
be supportive of everybody, you know. And I mean that's just it, you know. I mean it's just like my workers whenever you know. I mean I run a couple businesses. I tell them, hey, don't go to the club in my uniform, okay? Please, just don't do that, you know. But anyway, uh, Bushy wants to know, second time chatter, long time viewer. Looking for some tips to get sweaty and lay some smack on these kids. What sweatband do you recommend for some serious drippage?
You see, I can I got a couple pair of boxers that need retiring. I'll just cut the waistband off them. I'll give them to you, Bushy. You can wear that on your headband.
But all right. So some another serious question, so we can get kind of back to the gaming and streaming thing. What made you want to get into streaming?
Yes.
So it is a little bit of a funny story. um, so I'll kind of like start like with the gaming because I've always loved gaming, but I kind of just took a hiatus when PlayStation 4 came out. I wasn't playing, and I couldn't justify myself like to buy a PlayStation 4. So in I guess it was like 2 years ago, like kind of the beginning of the pandemic. Longtime friend of mine messaged me and was like, "Hey, Warzone is free. I have an extra PlayStation. Do you want to borrow it so we can all play together again?"
Nice.
So, yeah, he borrowed me his PlayStation, and then we started playing Warzone with some friends, and I was just like, "This shit is hilarious." I'm like, "The things that we're doing, I'm like, people need to see this."
Yeah.
And so I actually didn't even know what Twitch was until like less than a year and a half ago.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I made my account on November 2nd, like 2020.
Wow. Okay.
Holy.
Yeah. Yeah, so and then I started in May. So yeah, I was like watching Tim and I was watching Thind. He's a little bit like more serious, but yeah, I was watching all these people. I'm like, I think we have some pretty funny things. Like I think people might want to watch this.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
then yeah, and then it started.
Nice, nice. So
Popping off.
whenever go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying it just started popping off. That's all I said. Go
Oh
ahead.
yeah, yeah. So whenever we're in your streams, you know, I'm in there, you know, pretty constantly. You have a pretty good amount of viewership that stays.
Mm-hmm.
That's something a lot of people struggle with. What
Mhm.
is your way of holding retention? Like, what would you probably give someone advice? Hey, this is how you probably average, you know, 10 plus viewers every time you stream. What is your advice on that?
Again, most of that came from networking. Whether it was from Julaz, I have actually a number of people from Bad Bears community now.
Hmm.
I rated him once, and then I think he rated me like a week or so after that, and I've had I think like 5 or so people from his community now coming in.
Hmm.
So networking just so people can see your name and they'll come check out your channel.
Yeah,
Um, but like while you're streaming, just like have fun and like if you're I mean, we all have, you know, where you're waiting for people or something is wrong, like throw on music. Like I know most
Mm-hmm.
things are
hmm
copyrighted, but like find something on YouTube. Like I use Cinnaschick that
Yeah.
Uncle Deadly told me about and just like kind of make it into a dance party.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Or marbles, like people freaking love marbles.
I love it. I love
Me
it.
too. It's a weird addiction that I have to do marbles on stream.
I have had my highest views. I think like without a raid, I my max viewers was 29 and it was
Wow.
while playing marbles.
Speaking
Wow.
of speaking of a raid, let's talk about a raid that one time you had.
Hmm.
So you've been pretty
Yeah.
successful with raids.
Yeah, you're a raid queen.
Um, so you've had that feeling of 2,000 some odd people in chat or whatever, 1,200, whatever. I forgot the exact number.
Mhm.
What what was your focus at that point? So like, let's just say someone in our group, community, whatever, get to that point. What was the way that you handled that since you've been to it? I mean, I know at first it's probably a freak out. Um,
Yeah.
but like once you started seeing people come and like, you know, kind of stand there, what was like your main focus at that point?
Just like welcome them. Make sure like acknowledge that like they're there and they stayed. Because I know I'm guilty of it. Like if somebody raids, I'll like watch a little bit, and if I'm not interested, I'll leave.
Yeah.
So like I make sure like they know that I'm like super grateful that they actually stuck around.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when it happened with Bad Bear, I was playing Warzone and I was so I was missing a lot of my shots. I did manage to have like a really like a pretty decent snipe, but like put on a show for them, like make them want to stay.
Yeah.
And then the other one with the 2,000 people, I handled that very poorly because I didn't know if it was real.
Just shocked that it happened, or
Well, because like they came in talking about like being whitelisted for NFT, and I was like, what are they talking about? And so it turns out that like they're all part of like a Discord community for like NFT cryptocurrency
oh, okay,
crazies,
yep.
what they call themselves. And so they use marble races to like get whitelisted for these whatever. And so they just raid random people at the end of it. And so like all these people came in talking about NFT and WL, and I was like, what are they talking about? And finally, Donkey Style was like, "Guys, what does WL mean?" Because I'm like, I didn't want to ask it.
Yeah.
And so like it was honestly like 5 minutes before I was like, "Is this even real?" And then I had a couple other streamers, and they were like, "No, I think this is like an actual raid." And I was like, "Well, welcome in.
Yeah. Hi. How's it going?
Here's some marbles." Yeah, I was playing marbles at that time because I don't think I could have played Warzone with that many people.
Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure. That'd be insane. I mean, I'd be nervous the whole time.
Oh
The
yeah, I
whole
was
time.
taking.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So when it
Go
when it
ahead.
came to gaming, what or streaming, I would want to say, what is your end goal? Like, what are your goals? Like, what do you want to do? What is your 5-year plan when it comes to streaming? Basically, is what I'm trying to get to.
I mean, ultimately, this would be a dream job, right? We all
Mhm.
love gaming. Um, and even like the creating side, because like I'm not like a very artsy person. So like making clips and stuff, makeup, those are like my creative outlets. So like making my overlays and everything. So like for now, I'm just going in as this is my hobby. I will put in the work to do it, and if it turns into a full-time thing, that will be the ultimate goal.
Yep.
I mean, I do have a pretty decent job, so I would have to. I mean, I have an amount in my head that I would need to make before I can even think about.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'll kind of rephrase that same question a little bit. So, myself running a business, it is uh, the dollar amount. I mean, compared to streaming, which is a hard goal to obtain compared to what the business makes, is rough. Like I know that's going to be rough to hit. So, let's say you came close to that dollar amount, and it was you say you wanted to hit this dollar amount, and you were there. Now it's time to make a decision on, hey, is this something that I pursue, or hey, I understand that my job pays the majority of my stuff. This could be an end all be all thing. You yourself and your personality, if you were close or did hit that dollar amount, would you go all in? Would you push your chips all in, or do you think you would sit down and reevaluate with it being such a rare opportunity? And that extra time put towards the stream
Hmm.
and your content might even take you higher. So I guess would you go all in and do it, or would you have to really think about it before you made your decision?
I would have to really think about. Again, I've been in my job for 12 years. Um, we have pension that they match us. We have shares that they match us. I have full benefits. So like I would it's not just like any job, right? So it's not like if I lose this job, I can just go, try to find another one. It's a pretty cushy job. So
Mm-hmm.
because of that, I would have to give it some very serious thought. And I would honestly probably wait, like given the option, 6 months to a year of that consistent income before I would even think about quitting my job.
6 months consistent is kind of
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same train there. It's just it's so hard to you know obviously all of mine, everything that I do gets donated back to the Warrior to Bass Foundation to help veterans. So it's kind of my like little give back that I've always wanted to do. But I will say, like, down the road, I still want to do that. I still want to have that mentality. But at the same time, if you're gonna keep grinding and and keep building yourself, it's gonna come a point in time to where if it was an option to invest more time and potentially go full time, I'm gonna have to take a cut too, to keep eventually get these donations higher and stuff. So I 100% understand where you're coming from. It's just it's such a
Right.
it would be such a challenging question to ask yourself when that time actually did come. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Nice, nice.
perfect, Bullet. You beat me to it. I was just gonna shout her out. Perfect.
So let's kind of get into like some like life challenging questions. Done the
Yes.
streaming part. Let's kind of get to life now. Um, so this is kind of a question we kind of did when we had Grime on last week. And it went of what was the most challenging thing that you probably ran into growing up streaming, whatever stage of life, and how did you basically overcome said problems?
So one of the most challenging things probably was my first live-in boyfriend I was like 18. We were together for a while and he was an addict and I didn't realize he was until I started watching Intervention.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, holy shit, I'm living with an addict. And I stayed with him for a very long time because I was fresh at my job. So, I mean, I was making decent money, but the thought of like moving out by myself and being like the sole, like having to pay $1,000+ by myself was very scary. And I just got to a point where it was like, I hate this. I hate being at home. Like I wasn't at home. Like I would go to my mom's place, I'd go to my cousin's place, like I'd go anywhere but home and I'm stupid. So I mean by that point he wasn't working, so I was the one paying all of the rent anyway, and I'm like, well, I'm already doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I packed up my stuff like within 3 days, and then my mom or like my parents, my family, we moved everything in like an hour. And the anniversary is February 9th.
Mm,
Oh,
I
nice.
wow.
still remember that day because it was a monumental day for me.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
I had nightmares of him like finding where I was living for like months.
Mm,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It could have been a much worse situation. But that was probably one of the hardest things in my life.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the good thing is you got out of it. I mean, that's always the most important stuff.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Um, it definitely takes a strong personality to get away from stuff like that.
Hmm.
Um, I wouldn't say I witnessed this firsthand, but I've known some people who've gone through like the same thing, and it's very hard to be the person that loves that person to say to leave because it's a like I said, it's a weird situation. It's very weird.
Yeah.
Because like that person, thinks, like I love this person, I want to stay with him, I can change him, XYZ. But again, it's always it takes the person themselves to really figure out, okay, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, well,
You
I
know,
mean, with an addict, like you can only do so much, right? And if
exactly.
they're not willing to change, so I mean, we were together, so I gave him a lot of
Ample, yeah,
time.
ample time for sure.
And so that was in 2012. So I quit smoking on June 10th. I started working out on June 15th, and I broke up with him in August.
Nice, nice.
So
So
it was a very
straight
good
right
year
up.
for me. Lots of life changes. They were very good changes.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Not too bad. All right, what about you, Deuce?
Uh, yeah. So last weekend, with the show with Grime, I hit on the most challenging thing I had to overcome was the pressure of failure, and I kind of hit a little bit about my dad being an alcoholic and stuff. So I'll kind of shift gears because there was uh, another instance that really put me in a hole. So when I was in high school, I've said it, I'm not that person anymore, but I used to be. I was pretty popular. I was one of the jocks, the quote unquote jocks, and had a lot of friends. And we got a little reckless, right? So we started drinking, partying, smoking weed, whatever. and being kids. And one night we were gonna go to a party at this person's house, and it was kind of one of them deals where it was a Thursday. We had a Thursday night football game, and we're like, nah, like let's just get through this week. Let's get to the weekend, and then we can have fun, right? And my one buddy, who was my best friend, uh, Justin Schmidt, rest his soul. I got a little tribute to him on my arm. He decided that he was gonna go to that party that night, and we always had a rule, and still do to this day. Unfortunately, we got a little reckless with it at that time. It was always, call your buddy if you need a ride. And he went to this party by himself. He was going to South Dakota the next day to go pheasant hunting with his family. Didn't live too far from this house. Got in his car, hit a culvert, hit a ditch, flipped his car, got ejected, had a seatbelt on and everything, but got ejected and was killed. And that being my senior year, and especially the mentality that I had, I started to go on a path of self-destruction with, my quote-unquote status in high school. And I just felt that, the world was, I felt like the world owed me something. Between my parents getting divorced, my mom not having any money at all, my dad being a raging alcoholic at that point in his life, and now my best friend that I spend every day with just gone. So I started to, luckily I never got in trouble, but I started to do some bad things. Started, stealing shit, dealing drugs, just drinking all the time. I remember there were times where we would go out Monday through Friday, start at 7 p.m. and we were done at 2 a.m. and you go to work the next day. And it was just, or have football practice. We were showing up to football practice drunk, and it was really bad. And then finally, I actually had a football coach who was pretty hard on me, and he actually picked me up the one day and slammed me on a locker in front of everybody during school. I'm talking slammed. And a lot of people would be like, he assaulted you. Yeah, he did, but he also gave me the wake up call that I needed, because he's like, you have so much potential and you're pissing it away. Stop hanging on the fact that, your best friend's gone. There's no changing that. You can only change you now and, your actions going forward. So then it was kind of like one of those quick cold turkey things, 17, best friend passed away. My scholarship got pulled for baseball, and I didn't give a fuck, but I started to, it was like a light switch, just turned it around. Went to the military, signed up for the military, went to the military. I smoked like a chimney in the military, but that was really the only thing I did. I still go out and have fun, have a few drinks. I don't really get drunk. I do get, I hit a buzz point, and that's about it. But I make sure I am A-okay to drive home, or I call somebody to drive home. So that was definitely one of the driving forces, and still is one of the driving forces of who I am today. Is I always look at my buddy Schmidt, who passed away, and it's like, okay, how can I myself live my best life today to honor him and honor the way that he would have wanted me to live, instead of just hanging on the fact that, oh, I got wronged, my best friend's gone type deal. So that was another, I'd say, big challenge that I had to overcome. Yeah, it made me who I am today. So
That's
Nice,
rough.
nice. I liked it. I did good stuff for sure. We'll move on to the next one. Um, Butters asked, pretty good one. Would you be happy if your kids turn out like you?
Uh, yes. I would say my mom did a pretty good job. Again, I don't know what happened with my brother. um, but I am very much my mother's daughter, and I'm happy with who I am. Yes.
Good, good. But you, Deuce?
the end result, yeah, I would be happy if, I don't have kids at this moment. I really don't plan on it. I just like I said before, I don't think I can be the father that I want to be to a kid right now with my schedule. I don't want a kid growing up the way that I grew up. I don't want it. I want to teach them the principles of working hard, and you got to get to this point you got to do this to get, if you want to get to this point in your life. But at the same time, I don't want to spoil them, nor do I want to alienate them, so to speak, for my work. But I do think that, if I did have kids, would you be happy if your kids turn out like you? Okay, yeah. So I just wanted to reread that question to make sure I was right. I would be happy if they turned out like me, in the end result. But I also think a lot of the middle steps in the beginning process to where I am now,
Hmm.
definitely those factors at force in the middle and the beginning definitely made me who I am today. So they got to go through some of the shit that I had to go through. I'm for it because it'll teach them a valuable lesson. So
Hmm.
I do. I would be happy if my kids turn out like me. They'd have a good work ethic, and that's what's going to get you places. You got to make time, but if you want to be successful, man, you got to have that work ethic. That's the number one goal. So yeah, I'd be happy. Be happy.
Yeah. Yeah. So like
That was a
with
good question.
me, actually having kids, kind of relating a little bit more to this. Um, I mean, I want to say no because I just want to slap him and say, "Don't fucking do the shit I did. Don't do it. It's not wise. Don't do that." But at the same time, we don't get to be who we are from not making mistakes. You
Exactly.
know, I would love them to follow my path and then kind of realize, hey, let's not do that again. That's smart, and then keep moving forward. So I mean, like overall, yes, I think so. I mean that we all have our flaws that we wish we wouldn't put on someone else. But overall, I would say at the end of the day, yeah, I'd be okay with it. There's always stuff that I could fix, definitely, 100%. I think everybody's in that same boat of I could definitely fix this about me. And again, nobody's made perfect, but we all want to be perfect. And that's just what it is. Um, but yeah. Then Butters asked, "Would you guys drink Nyquil and play Warzone?" Asking for a friend.
Based on last night, no, I would not recommend it.
If you get good content from it, no, I'm
I mean,
kidding.
yeah. What's you risking here, my boy?
That's funny. That's funny. Um, I got a question for Cinna. So, Chad, we got 20 viewers right now. Throw your questions out for Cinna. I'll just kind of reiterate it. The gloves are off. We're facing you guys tonight. Throw us any questions you want, and we'll get them answered. It's always nice. It makes for good conversations, and it definitely throws out a lot of information that's useful for people. So throw the questions out. Keep the chat rolling. But I do have a question for you, Senna. So being Bullet, or obviously guys, you're a girl. So being a girl streamer or a female streamer and putting out your content, what is, I will say, some of the I want to say pros and cons, but that's kind of a bad way to put it. So what's some of the good things and some of the bad things that you have experienced, being in your shoes? Like, have you had much people coming in and the fact that you're a female, like, they don't like it, or the fact that they're like, oh, this is awesome? Is there like a an instance that you've run into to where it was either, instances that were good or bad,
Hmm.
being in your shoes, I guess, is what I'm trying to ask.
Honestly, for the most part, people are excited. Like when most of the time, like when I say something on the mic, they're like, "Oh shit, are you a girl?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "That's fucking cool." Like, like I had one guy who was like, "I was trying to get my girlfriend into it, and like she won't play," and I was just like, I mean, I've always liked video games, right?
Yep.
um, I don't know if it was last weekend or the weekend before. I actually had like my first like really bad interaction. Um, I guess I killed this guy in a game. And he was not happy, and I think he was like, so he came into my chat like trying to show off for his friends.
Oh boy.
Um oh, I took a screenshot of it. He called me every word you could think of, and I banned him, and then his friend was like kind of going off. He got banned, and then he made 3 additional accounts to come back into my chat.
Good
Wow.
God.
I had one guy come into my chat and he's like, "Wow, I really got shit on by a girl in Warzone," and that's all he said. And I was like, "I mean, how do you feel?" I'm like, "Do you want to talk about it?" Like,
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, most of it's positive. I've only had a
Good.
couple instances that were bad. One of my sniping videos on TikTok, some guy put like a rolling eyes emoji, so I just like laughed at him.
Yeah, that's I was curious because there are instances too to where, I play Warzone quite a bit and I'll see people like, FBGG or TTV whatever, and we faced this one squad the one day and I took out 2 of them, and I think we were actually doing like a duo quad lobby. So pretty sure it's me and Band-Aid. I took out 2 of them. Band-Aid took out the other one. So now it was a 1v2. And how it happened, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I got hit in the fucking head with the thermite, and then I got flashed and then destroyed, and then I don't know what happened to Band-Aid. I think he got third partied. But the person that killed me was a Facebook streamer. And I was like, oh, I'll just go check it out because I saw FBGG, and it was like Muffin Mom or something like that. Like I've just thrown that out there. And I went in and I was watching her play for a little bit, and I was like, oh, nice play. Like, you just got me. Came over and checked it out, type deal. And she's like, oh, yeah, she's like, I can't believe I hit you with a thermite or a Semtex, whatever it was. And she's like, yeah, you got the other 2 of them. I'm like, yeah, but you had a good play on me, type deal. It's not like, I don't know why people are weird to like, I've noticed that a few times with some of the people I've went and support to where, whether I met them through gaming or whatever, them being females, I'll go into their chat and I'll go support them, and then you'll see these people that they're playing against come into their chat and just be toxic like that. So that's why I wanted to ask, because it seems like they obviously get a lot more than what a guy would. And yeah, I was just curious to see if you've experienced that too, because I've noticed that from some of the people that I've went and supported, that where they kind of get that once in a while. Generally, it's positive, but it seems that it tends to happen a lot more, I thought. So yeah,
Yeah,
makes sense.
I've actually had quite a few randoms that like I still play with or talk to. Because yeah, they're like, "You're cool as shit."
Okay.
That's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Mostly like good
Mhm.
experiences. My mom's in chat.
Cinna's
Hello,
mom's in
Cinna's
chat.
mom.
Let's go.
All
Awesome.
right, so another life question. I like these. I like to hear y'all's thoughts and how y'all process it all. I think there's one
Love
we
it.
asked with Grom, and it was a really good one. Um, what? Okay, I remember how to word it. What would you ask, or what would you tell your younger self, and what would you want your younger self to tell you where you're at right now? You go ahead, Senna.
What would I tell my younger self?
And then what would you want your younger self to tell you where you're at now?
Okay, what I would tell my younger self is don't take things so seriously, and don't don't chase people. The right people will be in your life if they want to. You shouldn't have to beg for somebody to want to be in your life.
Mm.
And what would my younger self tell my future self? 2020 is gonna suck.
Truth.
I guess that'd be bad the other way around, actually. um, I don't know. I'll have to come back to that.
All right, Deuce, what about you?
So
What other wise?
can you repeat it just so that way I
Yeah.
got it fresh?
So what would you want your older self, so you now,
Mhm.
to tell your younger self, and then if your younger self could tell you where you're at now, what would you want your younger self to tell to you?
All right. So myself now, I'm pretty sure I said the same thing last week. Myself now, if I was to tell my younger self something, it would be patient. Things will come. I do believe a lot of things happen for a reason. I'm not like a fate believer or anything, but I do believe a lot of things happen for a reason. If you stick to the path. Just be patient. Don't force anything, because when you start forcing stuff and rushing things, you tend to make bad decisions. Learned a lot of that from the military. Jolly, I'm sure you can attest to that as well. I see he's in chat. Um, be patient. Your time will come, and just enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment. Don't worry about what tomorrow holds. Enjoy now. And that's what I would tell myself, my younger self. And then if my younger self could tell my older self something, boy, it would probably be. I think I kind of hit on this last week too. Was there's a year in my life to where I was really starting to hit off with the business. It was picking up. I was working full time. I was driving an hour each way to and from work with my full time job, then running the business. Just got a job with my local sheriff's department, so I was trying to stay in shape, working out. Once I went over there, started working for them, and then on top of it, I was in school full time. And I was almost too ambitious, because at the time, my girlfriend, which is now my wife, that year was a blur for me. I will 100% say I do not remember that year. It is. I was a walking zombie. I don't remember shit. Um, I couldn't even remember like one event from that year other than just working that I did. I can't remember any of it. And as a result of that, I almost lost my wife. My now wife. We actually broke up for a while, and no fault to her. It was all on me. It was one of them things to where I started to push people out of my life for myself, which may sound selfish. I will say it got me to where I am today. So I'm thankful for that. But at the same time, I do believe you have to do you and you only. But at the same time, if those people mean that much to you, then you have to respect them as well, because I realized that I didn't give her the time of day. So it definitely put a strain on that relationship for a year until I could get, my shit squared away, so to speak. So that being said, I would tell my older self, hey, relax, work hard, but at the same time, you need to whether family, friends, or the people that you love, like, you got to remember they're there too. And yeah, just take a chill pill and remember that these are people as well. You're not the only one out there. So that's what I got.
Nice. I love it.
I was just saying, my younger self would tell my older self to enjoy being pain free while you can.
Yeah, no kidding.
Everything
Yep,
hurts.
The way I would probably go, I guess I'll answer this time. I didn't answer last time.
Yeah.
My
I wanna
older
hear it.
self would probably tell my younger self it's okay to take some time to do stuff. It's
Mhm.
okay. My life, I have been impatient. I have a patient, or as we say in the South, have the patience of a pissant. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, we just, like, my life was, I always felt I had to rush and get stuff done, and I needed to learn to slow down a little bit. I'm super glad where my life ended up. I'm not saying it was a mistake that I rushed stuff, but at the same time, I wish I would have kind of, slowed down at some points and, really enjoyed
Mhm.
where that timeline I was at. Like I said, I was married at 18. Like, my parents had to sign for me to get married. That was just crazy for me. And then a couple years later, have a kid, and then have another one. Again, I enjoyed that time, of course, and I enjoy it now. But it's like, just to enjoy those little spats and moments a little bit deeper. That's what I'd probably tell my younger self. Enjoy those times.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
my younger self to tell my older self would be, remember your foundation. Remember why you wanted to do things that you're doing now. Remember the happiness that you felt when little things happen. You know, because now, when you're older, you only expect big things from now on. If you don't see a good stride, you think you're going backwards, and I think that's something
Yeah.
that we all kind of mistake on. We're like, fuck, well, I didn't get, I'm not making 90,000 a year, or I'm not doing this now. I didn't buy a house this year. I didn't get married this year. I think we focus too much on the big things to really appreciate a lot of the small stuff that we really do get, mostly every day.
Mhm.
Um, And that's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. Remember the foundation you came from, and always remember, enjoy every single second of the little things, because that's very important.
I agree with that 100%.
Yep. Let's see. I'm trying to think of any other any good questions we had last time. Um, that was just out of the water good ones. Let's see here.
I have a
If you
potty
come
break.
on, yeah, you go ahead. Yeah,
Yes,
you go ahead.
great idea.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
I'll talk chat a little bit here, then go take a leak. Hey guys, if you got any questions for Cinna, Bullet, myself, please feel free to throw them in chat. That's what this is all about. We're gonna face you guys, aka the firing squad, get some things answered for you guys that you might have questions with. Everybody in here is in Team Next right now, so this is what we are trying to do: is trying to get to know Team Next a little bit better, and not only know each other a little bit better, but help boost each other to get each other to where we want to be success wise. So, any questions at all? Cinna is a very successful female streamer, holds great viewership, has a great community. Bullet just joined in. Same thing, man. He puts on a great show, um, puts the time and effort into it. These people are great. So now is the time to ask them if you have any questions, whether you are successful yourself or just starting off or kind of in a rough spot. Let's go. Let's get these questions firing off. We need some good ones. We need some in-depth ones that we can really hammer home on. So I'll be right back. Take a leak. Start firing those questions away. Bold will get them written down, baby.
Now Deuce is leaving us.
I'm sitting here chugging my tea and my water.
Nice, nice. Man, that's crazy. Like all of Next has the Rona.
Yeah,
A lot
I
of them do.
honestly I feel like everybody does, even where I live. Like I know a lot of people like personally that have.
Oh, I got a good question when Deuce comes back.
I'm actually pretty sure I had it the other week, but I'm like fully vaccinated, and so I think I had like a really mild case of it.
Yeah, I got vaccinated not too long ago. And I got tested 2, 3 days ago because I had like a sore throat and stuff.
Mhm.
And the main reason I got tested was just I have two little ones. I didn't want to bring it anywhere around them.
Yeah.
But I tested negative, so I guess I'm okay. I
Yeah.
guess so. Okay, I'll write down Grimy Boy's question. I like that one. Hell, thank you. Neo.
Oh, wow, all the questions are
Like
coming in now.
like it. I love all these. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. All right.
Perfect.
So I got one kind of start off with. We were just talking about everybody having COVID and whatnot. Um. So with
Ooh.
having COVID and stuff, a number one subject that's everywhere. What? We'll go with each one of us. Okay. What was your first intake of COVID times? What was your way of surviving quarantine? And now that we had a good bit of time looking back, what do you feel about it now?
So I was in Mexico when like everything kind of blew up, and I didn't come home early because I knew that it was going to be a long time before again.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, I remember like the first lockdown, it was like 2 months or something, and it was like, wow, this is actually happening. Um, and honestly, video games got me through. Because yeah, I mean, we couldn't see our friends, but playing video games with everybody, you're hanging out with your friends basically every night. And now I'm just like, I want to go to Mexico.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
miss like I've been to the same place quite a few times, so like we have friends there now, and so it's like I miss my friends, but like I miss escaping in the winter. It needs to go away.
Yep, yep.
Yes.
All right, Ducey, your
I,
views. Let's hear it.
not gonna lie, I apologize. I might make some of you really fucking mad right here. COVID kicked off, and I was kind of like everybody else, just watching it, monitoring it. I remember I was doing one of my contracts at dealership at night, and one of the NBA players contracted. They shut the game down. Or like, we're done, no more. And I like I said, I hate to get into this because it's kind of a sour subject, but I definitely think the statistics are there. I think it's serious. Don't get me wrong. Like, it is, if you get it, which I'm pretty sure I've had it twice, it's not fun. It's not. And people with underlying conditions really get hit hard from it. But I do think it was fueled as a political tool in the United States. It was an election time, and a lot of people didn't like a certain guy. A lot of people didn't like this guy and the other guy and all this bullshit, and that's all I'll leave it at. I think it was definitely made out to be something that seemed more serious than what it is. And you can say that I'm full of shit or that I'm wrong, but I got my own opinion. And just looking at the statistics and from what I do for my business, I hate to say it, but I should have died 25 times over by now. If I'm going off of what the media is saying. Now, I'm not saying that I'm like a COVID non-believer. Like, I'm unvaxxed. I don't believe in getting the vaccine. My immune system is, knock on wood, strong enough. I'm not going to knock anybody for getting the vaccine. I'm not going to knock anybody for wearing a mask. As an American, I believe in fighting for my country like I did. America is about freedom. The freedom to do what you choose and when you choose to do it within a certain guidelines. And my guidelines are the Constitution. And fighting for the Constitution, to me, I believe that you should be able to do whatever you want. I don't believe that you should be forced to get a vaccine or forced to wear a mask, even though when I went in the military at a young age, they put a lot of shit in our body that you had to do, and they didn't care. And
you just in a line getting shot.
So, like I said, that might make a lot of people mad, but that's just my opinion. I carry on with my everyday normal fucking life. I do not care. Now, that being said, I'm not like when I'm around my grandparents or people with underlying conditions. Yeah, I try to be courteous of, their situation, because them contracting it is definitely worse than me contracting it. But I think it's to a point where the statistics, we need to fucking move on. People are seriously, Bullet, this, being a business owner, more people have been hurt by the economy being shut down than actual fucking COVID. And it's starting to, for me, it's starting to get ridiculous. I'm kind of getting a little heated about it because I do have a lot of opinions about it, but that's just my opinion. Getting through it, through the quarantine and stuff like that, was not really anything new to me. I'm pretty, like I said, I used to be a popular, flashy, had a bunch of friends, kids. Not really like that anymore. I kind of carried on my everyday life, did the same shit. Just played video games a little bit more, and
yeah. So
nothing
like
new.
when COVID first started for me, having 2 kids, it was scary. You hear a new disease nobody really knows about. Even if it was a political push, even if it was all that, it's still prevalent, and that was scary for us to realize. That this is a real thing. Like, it could happen, it could not happen. And at first, I was definitely one of those people like, well, it's not going to get me. Like, I'm good. Like, it was only 65 and older. It was not really a lot of like the younger people. We were fine. We were okay. So at first, I was really just, I was scared because I didn't know what was going to happen. But at the same time, I was at the point where I was like, I'm not worried about it. But surviving, like, but moving on to the next part of the question, quarantine to me, that's what made me get back into gaming.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I took a very long break from gaming at one point. I
Yep.
just didn't play. I had a PS4. I had people to play with. I just didn't play. I mean, it's just something that I mean, I had fun hanging out with people a different way, but at that point, um, I really couldn't. You know, because I had friends who were on the side of not wanting to be around. Cool, fine. Your own opinion. You do what you want to do. I'm hanging out with you, whatever. But it made me fall in love with COVID. I think COVID gaming was the peak of gaming. I had
Mm-hmm.
so much fun during that time. Call of Duty Search and Destroy every night, no doubt. So when I started getting back into Warzone, it was just a good time for that point of my life to like kind of like get to where I'm at now, you know. And it was a lot of fun. But now we're at the point where we're at now with everything going on. To me, like Dude said, it's time to get over it. You know, we're long enough that you either one or two ways now. Either vaccinated and get it, you unvaccinated and you don't get it. That's it. I mean, that's the way we go. And it's just time to kind of like just move on from where we're at. But that was just a question that I thought of
Yeah, that's a good
whenever
one.
you were gone.
That's a good one.
So let's go to some questions that were rolling in whenever you went to teen pool. Deuce, how did you get through life being that sexy?
Who was that a grime question?
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew it. How do I get through life being that? Yeah. You know, in all honesty, like I've never thought I was a good looking dude. Like I've always just been like, I feel like I look better than most people, but like in all honesty, man, confidence is key. Like
Yes.
I don't care what that contributes to, not whether it's your looks or whatever you're doing in life, run a business or gaming. Dude, you guys gotta be confident. And I will say this too. Y'all motherfucking single dudes in the chat, y'all better stop acting a fool. You remember back in the day when you actually had to ask a lady out on a date? Like actually put your nuts down and go do it. Like you guys I see these kids nowadays and even people my age, it's just everything's so artificial. Nothing's
It's so
authentic.
much, and it's so much easier. Like, cause like I was I was with my friends, and they're always
Yeah.
on Tinder,
This
Bumble,
is
all
what it
that
is
shit.
now.
Yeah, and I'm so glad I missed that phase of dating.
Yeah. Dude, I remember
Um,
I remember when I went on a date with my wife. First date that we had, I opened the door to my truck, like I had everything planned out and like asking her like we did meet on like we got in a Facebook conversation, that's how we started talking, but like I legit like asked her on on a date. I'm like, "Hey, not like hey, like it's so weird cuz people are like, "Hey, you want to be my girlfriend?" It's like, "No, no, that's not how you do it." I legit like I was like, "Hey, you know, I I really enjoy your company. Would you be okay if I, asked you on a date and we went to, grab dinner somewhere?" Like that was an actual conversation. It wasn't just
swiping. I like you. I like you. I like you. I like
you
you.
know. So,
Yeah, for sure. The history of dating is just crazy now, man. It's not like you said. It's not authentic. It's just, hey, you look good. I look somebody good. Let's see if it works. Nope. Okay. You look good. I look somebody good. Let's see if it works. Okay. No. Let's go on. But we'll move on. Next, Grimestone asks at Cinnaschick, what is your favorite drink, alcoholic wise, if
ooh.
you do drink?
I do not drink. I quit 4.5 years ago. My favorite
Woohoo!
drink is coffee.
Coffee. Love a good coffee.
Mm.
Mhm.
What about
Mm-mm-mm.
you, Deucey?
Man, where do I start?
I
So
did like tequila though, I will say.
tequila. All right.
Tequila. The tequila.
Oh,
I
it's all good. I don't care.
I, I think that like my go-to is definitely Crown Royal, Crown and Coke. That's definitely my go-to. But lately, I've been trying to get into some other stuff, like love White Russians, but I have my own little twist to it. You know what? Take that back. I know exactly what it is. So, has anybody listen to Tech Nine?
Yep.
You know the song Caribou Lou?
Yeah, I was singing that, so I actually had that as a command when the Tech 9 was I made
Really?
that a command in my chat, yes.
Oh, that's amazing. I remember listening to that back when we were going through our rebellion phase in high school and drinking and smoking all the time, whatever. We were like, we're making Caribou Lou. Like we are doing it. We we listen to the song all the time. And now, yep. I listen to the song all the time. I was a huge my great uncle played for the St. Louis Cardinals back in the '60s, and so I'm a huge St. Louis. I kind of cheer for Kansas City, sometimes, but um, huge Cardinals fan. So I was like, this is my drink. Like this dude's from Missouri. This is my shit. And anytime I get a chance to drink it, I drink it. So I will say I figured it out. That yep,
Yeah,
100%.
I have been on a bourbon connoisseur
Oh
for
no.
like a couple years now. Like I'm a bourbon douche at that point.
Bougie.
Like I will try to say I'm a bourbon douche. Like people are like, hey man, you ever tried like Four Roses? I'm like, that's shit bourbon. Don't get that in front of my face.
Yeah.
Like I'm at that point. Like I that was like just a good. Because I mean, like to me, it's like an art. It's kind of like a wine. They have their certain characteristics.
Hmm.
And that's kind of like what I enjoy is like a good bourbon, like a good aged bourbon. That's my way of drinking. I do not like. I'll drink beer every now and then, but overall, a good bourbon, man, you can't beat it, bro. It's just so much stuff is put into it, aged for years in a barrel. It's just like, oh, come on. And it's not even to a point where I drink it to get drunk. It's just like something that is actually very good that I enjoy, like
Enjoy.
tasting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um.
Cool.
All right. Hell Risen asked, "What is your number one goal or ambition for your life?"
Um, just be happy.
Yeah, I think that's
Whatever
a
I'm
good
doing, be happy.
for sure.
100%. Yeah, I would say kind of on the same lines. Be happy, but boy, that you can get really deep with that too. But my number one ambition for life is just be the best person I can be, but at the same time, be happy. And I'm definitely a believer. Like I'm not very religious by any means, but I do believe that you know I can be judged at the end of the day. Like don't waste your time like second guessing yourself. Just go do what you want to do. Have fun within reason. Do what you want to do. Have fun. And you'll get judged at the end of the day, whether it's true or not. You just yeah. I That's my thing. Is just be successful and
Yeah.
be happy and
One
about it.
uh one time I was watching a Kevin Hart special. Dude's hilarious. I mean, love watching his specials. But he said this one thing, and it stuck with me for forever. He said, "By the time I am laying in my coffin and it's my time to go, I want to look back and say I've done everything that I wanted to do, and anything that I couldn't do, I tried." And
Mm,
that's where I want to be. That's want to be when I'm said and done. That anything that I want to do, I did it, and if I couldn't do it, at least I tried to do it. And that's what I kind of like want to be on the outlook of life.
Hmm.
Is just saying you tried doing. I don't want to have any doubts, hopes, dreams left on the table by the time I'm done with my life.
yep.
And then and of course be happy, be the father, that I want to be to my kids and all that type of stuff. That's all again super important to me. But for my advice to live by the time I'm done is definitely that for sure, for sure. All right, Neo has a question. When you are at a low point and you feel like everything is against you and all you want to do is keep shooting for your dreams, but everyone is bringing you down, what do you do?
Um, remind yourself why you're doing it
Yeah.
and that it's for yourself and it's not I mean, you shouldn't be doing this for anyone else other than purely because you want to and you enjoy it.
Yep.
Um, with anything, really.
For sure. For sure. All right, dudes, what you think?
Uh, so I think my personal opinion is that's kind of how my whole life has been. Whether it was an adversity or due to circumstances I couldn't control, not having money, and really anything growing up. Not saying that my parents were bad parents or great parents, just things happened to where we didn't have a lot of money. My dad being an alcoholic, and then you got, like I've continued to say for this will be the third week. I feel like you guys in this community are my true friends because my what I thought were my true friends were not. They have always, I guess I've figured it out now, this past year that they're not there for me. They have started rumors, made up lies about me, and just totally drug my name through the dirt, back again, through hell and back. So I use that to fuel my fire. If you if you're not with me, you're against me.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying like I hold a grudge against anybody or anything. That's not what I'm saying. But it's the whole momentum thing. My life is going this way, and if you're not going that way with me, get the fuck off. If you missed the train 5 minutes ago, too bad. You're not with me anymore. Don't hang on the fact that these people or this situation happened. Don't hang on it. Just keep moving forward. Do what you got to do to get to that point. Because if you keep hanging back on your past, don't get me wrong, it's good to have memories. It's good to look back at the good times, but be optimistic and just keep fucking moving on. Use that fuel to your fire. I use everything that everyone has ever done to me or any adversity that I've ever experienced growing up through my life, and just use that to stoke the flames to where I'm at today.
Prove them wrong.
Yeah, prove
Exactly.
everybody wrong. And I've always said I'm never out to prove anybody wrong. To prove people wrong, I'm not out to prove people wrong. I am out to prove to myself that I can prove these people wrong. It's kind of a little twist on the words, but in the same saying. But don't even give them the gratification of proving them wrong. Prove to yourself that you're going to prove them wrong. Don't even give them the time of day. So that's kind of where I've always been. It's just keep moving forward, stay optimistic, and past is the past.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah. I mean, in all respect, fuck them. I mean, like, remember your foundation of why you want to do it. You know, that's why I always like. That's my main thing. Remember your foundation of what you wanted to do and what you wanted to accomplish, and let that be, like you said, your fuel to the fire. Use their doubts. Use that for fuel to your fire. You know what you want to do. Nobody is in the way of you telling you can't do that. I mean, that's the world we live in now, and it's amazing. Really, if you wanted to do anything, you might be broke. You might not have a house, but technically you could do it if you wanted to.
Yep.
You know, and we that's just something we got to capitalize on in every single way. But yeah, I mean, remember your foundation. Use the fuel that use the fuel that you're getting to keep that fire going.
Yep.
But anyway, we'll move down to Butters next. How did you guys feel after your first stream? Was it a sign of relief or anxiety, etc.?
Like my first stream was on my PlayStation without a camera, so I didn't really think. And I had like no viewers, so
My first stream that I took serious, I let the music play on starting soon for 25 minutes
Holy.
because I was just so nervous about getting out there, and I'm not saying I had viewers or anything, but it was just the fact of me opening myself up
Yep.
to being live was very nerve wracking for me at first. Um, but even like when I was a kid, I mean, my parents have video of me like doing stuff on camera. It's kind of something I always wanted to do was kind of be in content creation, doing stuff like this. It's something I always wanted to do. And in like high school, we made a dumb YouTube channel. Thank God the videos aren't there anymore. But I mean, I always wanted to do it, and that's one thing that I had to remind myself. Again, I'm going back to it, and then I beat it to death. Is remember your foundation that you started upon.
Yep.
So after my first stream, I was I was just kind of I was relieved that I did it, but at the same time I was like, oh my god, that sucked. That was the worst thing ever. And that's what everybody's gonna think at first. You're gonna say, oh, how can I get better? But that's the thing. Do not get satisfied with your first one. Do not get satisfied. Even like right now, like we have 22 viewers pretty consistently. I know Deuce is not going to be satisfied. He's going to want more and more and more. I mean that's what we want. We want to grow and grow and grow. I'm not saying we're not happy for everybody being here, but we always want to do more.
Yeah.
Never get satisfied for what you can because there's always more you can achieve. In my way. So yes, it was a sign of relief after I got off camera because I was like, okay, I can breathe now. I ain't got to look a certain way and act a certain way. But then I kind of realized, um, that's not what this is meant for. It's meant for me being myself and me doing my own thing.
Yeah, I will say I kind of threw myself to the wolves when I started my first stream. Me and Jispy met each other on TikTok. We were both he was already streaming on Facebook and I created a Facebook account. And I was kind of talking to him and I'm like, dude, I really I want to invite people to like my page, but at the same time I'm so reclusive and it's like I don't really care about these people type deal because I know the type of people they are. It's like, I don't really want to invite him. He's like, dude, fuck it. Just invite everybody. Invite all, and whoever comes and shows up and supports, great. If they don't, so what? And Facebook is definitely a different realm than Twitch. I'll say that because, like, everybody in the Twitch chat right now, like, yeah, I know Neo. And Neo, by the way, thank you for all the bits, man. You're a fucking legend. You got Butters, you got Big Time Bushy, Grimestone. Yeah, we know who these people are. We know them. We know their personality. But generally speaking, if you have a Twitch account, you made that for one or two reasons. You either stream yourself, or two, you made it to watch other people. So it's in your interest. We're on Facebook. It's a whole social media platform, and some guy named Bob, who all he cares about is 69 Camaro SSs, comes into your chat and sees you playing video games. He thinks you're a Fruit Loop, So it was it was a good. It's funny because I have an uncle named Bob who has a Chevelle SS, but so it was a relief. It was a relief when I did it. It was wild, There's a few of my friends, a few of the friends I still have showed up, and it was awesome. I eventually made the move over to Twitch. I think it was for the better, especially for a small streamer. But man, I was so relieved when it was over, and I will say it's nerve wracking. Like I'm a pretty reclusive person, but at the same time, I was like Bullet. I took a lot of my military experience and I started training people in my area because we're a very Second Amendment area. And people wanted to know, especially with all the crap that was going on with like the George Floyd stuff like that, people were arming themselves because they're like, hey, we don't know what's going to happen to us. Not saying that like that incident was like the cause of why, it just, they're like, oh, hey, like I should probably protect myself. So I started taking people out to my range out at the farm and running them through some basic firearms courses. No charge, just, run them through it, let them get familiar with the weapon because I am a firm believer that, as 2A as I am, if you don't know what you're doing with the gun, you shouldn't have one. And it turned into something cool to where I started filming myself shooting guns, doing reload drills, doing the build drills, and doing this and showing people like, hey, this is how you can get efficient. And then me and my buddy started, we got a camera, we'd follow each other around, hit some different angles to where you can see how, different stances and all this, how to function through a malfunction on the gun, et cetera, et cetera. So I've always had that kind of creative aspect. I just didn't know where to put it. And, that first stream was kind of where it is today. I could let my creative side come out, but it was still nerve-wracking. It's still nerve-wracking.
I'm still nervous every time.
All right, so Jolly asked, who's the number one influential person in your life?
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I kind of hit on this last week, so I'll make quick go first. Definitely my father. I said last week, my dad being an alcoholic, and getting divorced from my mom. Naturally, my mom got custody of me. My dad went hundreds of $1,000s in debt, and the dude was at rock bottom and consumed by alcohol and dead up to his eyeballs, but he never quit. He still continued to get up every day, go to work, uh, run the farm, and got himself out of debt. Now his house that he has now is fucking immaculate and huge. It's all paid off. All of his vehicles are paid off. The dude came straight out of the mud and made something of himself, even after, like the quote unquote prime years of his life. So he stopped drinking. Hasn't touched a drop of alcohol in I think like 8 years. Got remarried to my stepmom and just has definitely made something out of nothing. So I would definitely say my father, even though a lot of the shit that he put me through was not quote unquote Father of the Year award. The dude's amazing. The guy,
That is amazing.
the guy was there for me, and I just want people to like understand. You've even said it too, Cinna. Like my dad was addicted to alcohol, and it was his choice to stop. Ultimately it's up to them, and he did. So he bettered himself. Yeah, he made some mistakes, and some mistakes that probably could have got me and him killed. But at the same time, it's kind of weird to say, but I'm forever grateful for everything that I've experienced. And he realizes his mistakes, and your opinion is your opinion on it. But my father's definitely my number one.
He was just surviving at the time.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so what about you? Who's your number one?
My mama.
Oh, Cinna Mom, 22.
Cinna mom. Yeah. She's like the least judgmental person I've ever met. She gives everybody a chance. Way too many chances often. Um, yeah, she just sees the best in everybody.
Nice, nice. Yeah,
Mhm.
mine would definitely be my father as well. He just kind of taught me. I was taught in a very different way than most people. And for some people it works, for some people it don't. I was never really, I was never the one that had to do a job at 16 years old. Like I wasn't pushed that way. I was pushed. My dad had a good job. He said, if you want this, you have to do good things and you'll get this. It wasn't, I need you out here picking up rocks, counting them, and then loading them into the dump truck and keep going. No, I wasn't taught that nitty gritty work like that gets you places. Um, and again, I think it depends a lot on the personality of the child, of the way that's taught. I was really taught, look, I worked my ass off, and this is how I got here. If you want this, you gotta go get it yourself. I was never really handed anything when it came to my wealth and where I'm at now. But it was definitely taught a different way than most people. And I mean, I agree with that. And I know a lot of people come from, we had to do the nitty gritty work from 16. I didn't have to buy my first vehicle. That's the way I was raised. But I knew if I wanted to do this and be able to afford things myself, I had to go out and do it my own way. You know, so again, I was raised a very different way than a lot of people. I enjoyed the way I was raised. I'm very grateful, and I think overall it paid off to be where I'm at now. So yeah, definitely my dad. He
Oh, yeah.
kind of taught me a lot of stuff, a lot of life things. But yeah.
Uh,
Um,
Let me hit on one thing that Neo said. Neo said in the chat, he said that he was recently told that if he continues to pursue graphic design and merch, that he would have to move out. I will tell you one thing, Neo. Uh, yeah, that might sound like a pretty bad threat, but my dad also told me that I remember I was 16, 17. He told me now I was 16 because I got my first tattoo at 16. He told me if I ever got a tattoo or my ears pierced, he would kick me out. He didn't. He didn't. Um, he actually thought it was pretty cool, and he went and got one himself. So, you know, dude, never stop chasing your dreams, Neo. I'm gonna say that right now. Never stop
for
chasing
sure.
your dreams. You have something special, man. We all see what you post in the next chat and what you do and what you've done for people. You got talent, man. You got talent, and if you if you keep pursuing it, you'll make it places, man. Don't
Yep.
And
don't
smart.
let that threat hold
Smart
you
as shit,
back.
man.
Don't let
For
that
sure.
threat hold you back, man. Keep doing your thing.
All right, Rami asked, how do you guys come up with your stream/social media names? Any backstory to them?
This is a good one. I like this one. Go ahead, Cinna.
My friends called me Cinna because there was a cafeteria, or at work there was a cafeteria, and every day I would buy a cinnamon bun.
Nice. I just fucking love cinnamon rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, I love cinnamon buns. Like I ate 4 of them in the last 4 days.
Nice.
Oh my, that's awesome.
All right, dudes, go ahead.
Well, I got my deuce. It took me actually a while what I wanted to figure out because I felt like everything I wanted to do was taken. Like I wanted to go off my Norse heritage. I wanted to do something, with Vikings and Norse, having that heritage. But a lot of guys were starting to do that kind of trend at the time. And then I typed in Medusa into Facebook gaming one day and nothing came up. And I'm like, I enjoy that. It was my gamer tag to start with, and a lot of people actually started became my nickname. Actually, it started to be Medusa, and it was my nickname in the military actually because Jolly will appreciate this. We were at the range with the Humvees, and for all you guys that don't know, the 50 cal machine gun that's mounted on top of the Humvees is nicknamed the Medusa. It's the M2 Browning, so we called it the Medusa. That's what the guys in World War II called it. Just a fun little nickname it's had for a while. And the head spacing on the barrel wasn't right. And if you have the head spacing fucked up on it, it can it's not fun. So anyway, long story short, we were at the range. The head spacing on it wasn't right, and the barrel actually came off of the 50 cal. It bounced off the roof of the Humvee and it hit my sergeant. Luckily, we have the helmets on, obviously, and it hit my sergeant in the head. And he just looked
Ooh.
up at me, and you could tell he wanted to be mad, but he wasn't. And he laughed, and everybody else started laughing. Like, it's not every day you get hit in the head with the barrel of a 50 cal. And ever since that day, it kind of stuck. It was like, yep, yeah, the gun's nickname is Medusa, but you're definitely that's your nickname. You're Medusa as well. So, and it worked out because I was the gunner on the Humvee as well. That's kind of where I landed in my first unit. I was the gunner on the Humvee too. So, just it all revolves around the 50 cal and the Medusa, and I have a long history with it. So I said, screw it, I'm keeping it.
Nice. So my name, okay, so let me start from 8 Spots 360 days. My first 8 Spots 360.
Ooh.
I had a cousin I played with, and his name was DIS, Bullet for You. So I wanted to be just like him, so I put this, and I stuck with it. And not very original, I know. But that one isn't even my starting streaming name. When I first started streaming, as Deuce knows, he's seen it. My first actual streaming name was Waffly Beef 3.
Yeah.
So that was my name at first. It was like one of those random. It's when I got my Xbox One. When I started playing Xbox One for a little bit, that was like those random generated names. It was Waffly Beef 3. So like that was my first like kind of push to branding, and I was like, this sounds fucking stupid. Like I was like, I have to change this. So I was like, dude, what was my old name? Because I remember I was like, it was like this Bullet for You. I was like, that'd be a cool name. So that's just kind of how my name came to be, this Bullet for You, and it sounds a lot better branding when you say that instead of Waffly Beef, because Waffly Beef just sounds like something very gross.
Sounds like the roast beef sandwiches they used to give out at the lunchroom and
exactly. It's just gross. It doesn't sound. It sounds like an STD.
I think it's awesome. Like listen to how everybody got their names, like Grimestones, Cinna's, Bullet. It's definitely unique because it's an extension of your personality in a sense. And yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool, guys. I enjoy those stories. We'll have to definitely keep that on the list, Bullet, for
Oh yeah, for sure.
all episodes.
So since we're kind of like winding down a little bit, we kind of end with end near this question, Cinna. And again, we all like being content creators and definitely being in all in a community. And this is like no hate or anything like that. what would you give advice to Deuce for his streams and content making? And Deuce, what advice would you give Cinna for her content making?
These are rough. Who's going first, Bullet?
We'll let Deuce go. We'll let Deuce go first. So then she'd be like, "Yeah, you suck, Deuce."
Yeah. Oh, itchy. I think honestly I would. I think my advice would be kind of the same along the lines of what I gave Grime. I know everybody's kind of getting. Just be was huge with me on this as well. Thanks for the 100 biddies, by the way, buddy. He's the one that got me into editing and how to format a TikTok, how to, what programs to use, et cetera, et cetera. And you've definitely been on it, Cinna. I've been seeing your TikToks and they're great. I would say the best advice that I could give is just keep learning that and keep going on that editing, and that goes for me as well because I'm no expert by any means, but just keep playing around with the editing, keep going with it because what you're doing now is great. And I think especially with the community that you have and how well you do streaming, that if you can put out these clips that are just amazing and have a good edit on them, whether that's adding, like I know Bad Bear does like the text that pops up and stuff like that, just all the little details to where if you can just keep evolving into that, I think you got a gold mine coming your way.
I hate editing.
So I do too. It takes so much time. So much time.
Anything else?
Wait, where are we at, Bullet? What do we got? Oh,
yeah, Cinna got there now.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, you gotta critique me yet. That's all I can say for on my end for you. Otherwise, you're doing great. So you're I'll just before you get into it, but your stream is great. Your community is great. The people in your chat have fun, and you're definitely working your way through the social media. So I keep hammering on those edits. I know it sucks and it takes a while, but once you get used to it, it's not bad. Like I said, just be pushed me into it. I hated doing it. He forced me to do it, and it's paid dividends. I can tell in my edits from when I first started to now that, and I'm not great by any means, but you can tell it definitely helps. Definitely helps.
I went back on your TikTok. I think you can see like the evolution of your.
Yeah, it's pretty bad at the beginning.
No, thank you. I appreciate that. I honestly I don't really have like your overlays are really nice. I like your sound alerts. I have to add those. I have to do some of those on mine. Keep posting your funny stuff.
The funny stuff.
Yeah.
Right. I keep doing
Yeah,
that.
I've been trying to like do a mix of that, like try to, put some nice snipe shots in there, but like also I want people to come see my stream, right? So like post your personality.
Yeah. Right on.
Nice. AKA, you sucked at Rebirth. Stop playing Rebirth. That's funny stuff.
Hey,
All right, so
get some chopper tosses from that.
Exactly. All right, so we can kind of end on this one question since we're all streamers here. Just be asked, what's everyone's goal / reason for streaming? Cinna first.
My goal and reason is it's to have fun. I just wanted to I mean my friend group that I used to play with, they're not obviously the same people that I play with now, but I feel like I have such a great community of people that I play with. I just want to share them with everybody. And just have a good time.
Nip up.
Right.
All right, Deuce, what you got?
I would say that I was kind of going through a rough patch there with like I've hit it 1,000 times. The past year I found out that a lot of my friends that I've had for a long time weren't really my friends. They were against me, not with me. And I just kind of left them in the review. I don't care. I didn't have a problem. I wasn't going to beg them to be my friends anymore. So I think a portion of why I started streaming was because I've always had this creative side. So I think that's like my reason for streaming. I've always had a creative side. I just never really got a chance to showcase it. And you know, I think my goal is obviously to be as successful as possible, but my main goal right now is to get these donations in the hands of veterans to the Warrior Bass Foundation, help with PTSD, get these guys a little time to decompress after they come back off a deployment, because it's you need that. And I feel like the military doesn't take it seriously with a lot of the incidents that happen with us over there. They just kind of write it off because they own us, and they'll just fill you full of medication. That's not what you need. So
Mm.
I definitely, that's my main goal, is to help veterans, and just try as hard as I can to make any little difference in the veteran community that I possibly can. But I was also, getting back to the whole friends being fake. I think I honestly think in a sense I was looking for a new family. And
Mm.
when I met Jispy, he was definitely like the first friend that I had outside like in the streaming, content creation. And now I don't think a day goes by where I don't talk to him. I talk to him every day. I talk to, Shreds every day, Geo every day, uh, Bushy every day. And it's it's kind of nice. It's nice to have those friends, to where they're legit friends now. Now we're making plans to like meet up, and it works perfect for me because I'm kind of a reclusive person as well. So seeing you guys, once or twice a year is gonna be fucking great. Like I know I can vibe with you. We can make these memories and be a family and support each other, but at the same time, we don't always have to be up in each other's shit. And so I think that was kind of part of my reason too. Was I was looking for a new family, so to speak.
Nice, nice, nice. I like it. I'd probably say like my goal and reason is, I mean, everyone, all of us want to be at the end, besides the partnership and making this, full time thing, whatever. Um, my main goal was to really just follow my dream, I guess. Like I said, I always kind of wanted to do content creation and that type of stuff. Even if it doesn't come successful, the fact that I'm putting that stuff out there makes me happy. Like that's what makes me happy, you
Mhm.
know. And again, I don't care if I have 5 viewers, 2 viewers, 10 viewers, 20, 30,000. You know, I'm enjoying. This is what's making me have a good time. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and that's what basically it. And it sucks being so cliche and saying just being happy and doing this, but I mean it's what makes me happy. I've been definitely enjoying it. And like Deuce said, like the people I've met here, it's just honestly like amazing because like I mean an example, I really just met just be like last week, like honestly just started talking to him probably last week or so when we started playing Red Dead and stuff, and it's like we just kicked it off like we've been friends for forever,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep.
And that's with other communities and everything. It just the small streamer community at first I thought was going to be very selfish coming in. Because I mean, that's what you mean. Like that's what it kind of seems like. Oh, everybody's just here to kind of bait off you, and then that's it. But the communities I've been in touch with, it's very different. Um, so yeah, I mean, the community that we're here with is just amazing. My goal and reason for streaming is it's what's making me happy. So I'm gonna keep doing it until I'm not happy with it anymore.
Yeah. Hundred
Yep,
percent.
that's where I'm at. That's
100%.
where I'm at.
It's awesome. We got any last minutes in there, or was that the last one you got?
I think it's the last one we have.
Last one. All right. We went on for what, 2.5 hours this episode?
Yeah, almost.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I will say it was definitely a pleasure, Cinna, having you on. I do, you know, uh, Bullet, if you want to give her one last shout out for the people in chat. If you haven't followed Cinna, go give her a follow. She got a great community, great stream, great content. So go check her out. Go throw her the subs and biddies when you get to see who she is and see how savage of a streamer she is. It's awesome having you in next, Cinna. Um,
Thanks
I
for having me back.
yeah, yeah, I can't wait to, it's awesome. It's good seeing you, you, Jackrad, and, the women of Next showing out. So it's awesome. I know y'all are part of different communities as well, and it's awesome. It's just awesome to see everybody supporting each other, and especially, seeing where Next is coming. I'm hoping we can take it to, new heights this year, not only for Next itself, but for everybody involved in it. It only takes one. Only takes one. So awesome, guys. That was, Bullet. Thanks again for modding. Appreciate if you guys haven't shot Bullet a follow, go throw him a follow as well. The dude's awesome. Dude's awesome. Taking time out of his day to help mod for, the Cinna firing squad today. So
Thanks for having me on.
yes, awesome. Much love, guys.
You know, raid improviser. I think it's a fun one.
We're gonna go. We're gonna go throw our raid out here. So let's go raid. Who'd you say is improviser?
Improviser. This guy's a lot of fun. If y'all ain't never met this dude, he's a fun one.
Roll the clip.
Roll the clip. Yeah, guys. So, dude, you're gonna love this guy. He's hype as fuck. He puts a lot of time in his stream. He's the next member. He's fun. It's just a fun Jamaican good time. So let's go show him some love, give him a raid, and throw a turn me up in his chat. Do an exclamation point TMU in his chat when you get over there for me, will you? All right, let's go raid him. Roll the clip. I love that. He's awesome. What a savage. Whoops. Uh-oh.
Bye, guys.
Bye. See ya. Thank you.
Bye, Cinna. Thanks again. Rated. Let's get down to business. I even played that for Grandma. I don't think he was here at the beginning. Rated, son. Let's go. All right.
Perfect.
I want to see this reaction.
Yeah, we should start doing reactions too at the end, but let's see. I'm not in this chat, so I